Try going into some of them places that me and Black Dot have been, man, to teach our people. It's critical. It's really, really critical. So I'm saying all that to say this, that I'm man enough to step up to the plate and say, well, somebody asked me. They asked me the question, well, do you think you want to go on there and offer an open apology? I said, well, yeah, I did it on the arena. I said, hey, I'm extending the olive branch. You understand? And I told you personally that if you and your wife took what I said as a threat, then I apologize for that. But can I teach you something, brother, since you're just a little bit younger than me?
Come on with it.
That wasn't a threat to you. That was an order to my soldiers that we might have to go to work. That's just that's the language we have to use. They say, okay, and they got it. They got it. And then when I put the order out, Lenon Honest cannot speak nowhere. Not on the East Coast, West Coast. He definitely better not go to New York and Atlanta. Them brothers took me very serious. And I heard them locking and loading, and I said, wait a minute, this is getting out of hand. Let me put the phone and information out there to talk to a few people so I can tell them brothers to back off this, brother, until I have a chance to have a conversation with you. But, hell, I didn't have your phone number. Well, let me stop lying. There's some people that did some very good intel, and I actually got your address, birth certificate, phone number, social security number, children's names, and the whole bit. That's not hard to get, being in the position that I'm in. So I'm saying, man, it ain't hard to get to no damn body. But I had to be a bigger man and sit back and say to myself, you know something? I need to stop right here, right now. This is getting out of control. Black Dot in my left ear, Philip Muhammad in my right ear, Siddiqui on the phone, Jason Orr, and about a handful of other brothers that really, really applauded your work. They just said you probably need to rethink this addendum thing because they know the man, Professor Griff. Let me tell you something. Did you know that I'm slated to speak to a group of lesbian women to try to figure out a way that we can curb some of the attacks, not only in hip-hop, but just with black people? Did you know that I already spoke? I already spoke at 2 or 3 hip-hop conferences to all women. Did you know I did the song Sister, Sister, was served as a theme song for some programs? I was already on this work, so for me to turn around and push the homosexual agenda, that's counterproductive. But let me tell you what's happening now. We're having this conversation, and we have 25 minutes remaining. You know what's going on now that I'm online? People now are releasing information about what they think about Professor Griff and what they think about you. Right now, people are trying to set up debates with you and I and all of this kind of madness to make money off of what's going on. We cannot feed into that.
Yes, sir.
And we should not feed into that. I told one brother, man, go to hell. I'm not debating this man in no open forum like that for you to make money and laugh at the both of us while you stroll to the damn bank. You're out your damn mind.
Bro, I'll tell you, I've had radio shows, not just Blog Talk, but FM radio shows, talking about, I want you to come and we'll take care of you, get you out here and everything. Once you come on the show live and talk about this addendum. Okay, but one of the things I think we have to make sure I would like for you to speak on it because you're coming with the wisdom and so forth. I think a lot of people are not quite aware of the fact that the notion of 2 men, in particular 2 black men, resolving this type of an issue and doing so respectfully. And this don't mean that Professor Griff and I agree on everything, so let's not get it twisted. But that we can come together despite the disagreements and we can work things out. There are forces at play here that do not want to see that happen and who have instigated, whether that's been through emails or through requests to do radio shows or to come and do extra lectures on the addendum or, typing messages on different forums, whether it's on YouTube, whatever. There have been forces that have instigated this, and many people, even some of y'all who listen in here live, you began to participate, and you took sides, and you began to get caught up in all of the drama and all the madness. And in the process, what was happening was that we were creating more, that what was being created was more and more division amongst the very people that we've been trying to help. Brother, can you speak on this reality? Because people need to understand that there's more at play here than just you and I and our disagreement.
Well, I think 2 quotes. I think Ashanti said it better, and I think France Fanon And Steve Biko said it. Steve Biko said the greatest weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. And once we get to that low vibratory level, I think we become wishy-washy, and then in turn, energy centers open up, and in that confused state, we become the doers of iniquity, of evil. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Because we have no more control over the self, and then we become, as I often teach about Nicki Minaj and Beyonce, we become demonically possessed. And then we reach for something other than the self, i.e. Roman, who's a man that is operating inside of Nicki Minaj, as according to her own words. Sasha Fierce, who's operating inside of Beyonce. Frantz Fanon said, each generation out of relative obscurity must discover its mission, fulfill it or betray it. We've discovered ours, man. And myself, you, Black Dot, other brothers have discovered it already. We're fulfilling it. Other brothers are coming in on the tail end of it, and they have no mission statement. They have a purpose, but they're not fulfilling it. Are you following me? Asante said, if you're going nowhere, any road will take you there. So this is a need for them, not necessarily a want. They need this beef, so to speak, going, this negative vibration, so they could choose a side. You know why? It satisfied the bloodlust that already existed in them.
That's real talk.
And this satisfies that bloodlust. But, hey, because we're having this conversation, I think their plan has been kind of dwarfed. And they never expected us to have this conversation because they were sending their killers to your door, not by Professor Griff's orders. Do you understand what I'm saying? I heard you say you don't kill so much as an ant or a mosquito, but they was already sending their killers my way to do me harm and blame it on you. That's how they operate. That's how they always operated.
That's real talk.
And that's how we have to understand this particular thing, and just kind of not be so quick to jump and say to myself, he needs to be destroyed, like some of these people that have taken your side, what they're saying about me right now as we speak, man. I read this today, that I'm a beast, I'm a monster, I'm an animal. This is what they're writing. And I laugh, because I pray like David in the Bible prayed. I don't pray that my enemies live long lives in comfort. I pray for the death of my enemies. And some people listening may say, you see, he is so violent. Stop that. God destroys, man. You better read the text, whichever one you read.
And one of the things too, just to kind of piggyback on that, is just so people can be aware that once we came to a resolution, and the resolution was had before this conversation, so they all understand. Don't think that like this resolution is happening right now. We're just trying to put it and present it to everyone and have it recorded and documented as a precedence for the future. One of the things that took place just to show you how when you talk about the bloodlust, because I think this is a dynamic that is deep. Many of us, black males in general, but in black males in particular, we've experienced death and destruction throughout our lives. And in some cases, it's friends. Some cases, it's family members. In some cases, it may be associates. And the amount of negativity that we do endure throughout our lives is quite high, especially when we're young. We have these types of experiences and so forth, and there's a level of violence that we tend to experience that other folk don't necessarily have to experience. And it is my understanding that same type of dynamic has set a precedent in people's minds where they expect us to be that way, and they expect us to go in on each other. And then when we don't, what happens? Let me just share this with you all. Once you and I made the decision that we were going to do a radio show, and I made a statement, I apologize for the addendum, and obviously you already apologized to me here and offline. Once I put it out there that we're going to have this radio show, I started to get emails from people. Okay, from your camp and from quote unquote my camp, and their whole orientation was that somehow this needed to continue. You see what I'm saying? That somehow the only way for us to really resolve this is to continue to be at each other's throats. And this type of an orientation, I've had people email me say, look, I've been a long time supporter of your work, but now that you just backing down on this and you're just kind of calling this the peace and what good is peace. I'm thinking to myself, if that's your orientation, you don't need to be following my work anyway, because I ain't never been about that, having brothers at each other's throats. And many folks that you done lost, I done lost brothers listening to, we don't need that anymore. It's time for us to transcend that type of psychology. And the truth of the matter is that if you are one of those individuals who emailed me once I made the announcement that Professor Griff and I had come to a resolution, and you emailed me talking about we need to continue. Look, get the hell on, because we are setting a precedent here today, and I'm making it plain.
That's I can't say it any plainer than that, but I just need to say something to your listeners, the ones that already threw me under the bus and crucified me. I was giving, at the age 14, 15, I was giving supreme wisdom by the minister at the mosque that I was attending under the leadership of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And this supreme wisdom everyone is not privy to this. You are now, because when the FBI raided the mosque and tried to bring the nation down, the FBI confiscated all of the lessons. Inside of the lessons that I still have, some brothers managed to get them back to me after my house had burned down. I still have theology of time, and I still have supreme wisdom. Inside of that, it talks about triple darkness, that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that Allah manifested himself in triple darkness. When I explained the triple darkness in reference to the Black Draft cover, and some of the people there, I have to stop saying some of those people that you just talked about.
Yes, sir.
They wanted to come at me because they don't understand the triple darkness. But you see, they have to study, like I've studied. Are you following me? So then when I mentioned, people kept asking me, so you're going to go on Lenon's show? And I said, no, I'm going to go talk to the elders. I even heard you blast me for that. That's a principle we all have to understand. In the village, we have elders that govern it. When the elder speaks, everyone kneels down and is quiet. And when I went to the elders, they said basically, first of all this little tough talk stuff, we know you a soldier, we know you a warrior, stop that. Just stop, man. That's you 50 years old, man. Stop that. And you said it, and I kind of heard it. Some other people said it in my left and my right ear. I kind of heard it, but when they said it, I said, okay. And that's all I needed to hear. And then they gave me my instructions. And my instructions were, okay, do the YouTube thing. Pull the people off of his family. Make sure his family don't get hurt, but put the truth out there in reference to pawns in the game, Black Draft. Give it a couple of lectures, then did it. That's it.
Yes, sir.
And I followed that instructions. And that's what I got from the elders. And I was thinking, as I was hearing you say that, I said, he just doesn't understand the wisdom in that principle. If I did not go to the elders, I swear on everything I love, we would not be having this conversation. We would not be having this conversation. Not at all. There was nothing there for me to hold on to. Because I think, even when you were angry, you didn't see the principle in me trying to have Siddiqui call you.
That's right.
I had a sister from Jacksonville call your wife. I had Sean call you. I had Philip Muhammad try to reach you. I had Black Dot reach out to you. There's about 5 other people I could name that I know that you know. Jamal from L.A., a few other people. I'm saying, how do I reach this brother? I mean, what's the problem? I'm trying to rectify it.
I was pissed.
Okay. So long as the people know, people know that the truth now, that I tried to reach out, and I've known about the addendum. I just didn't get angry once my daughter called me. I've known about it. So I just said, okay, I have to handle this, and I was following Black Dot's lead. He wrote you the letter. I'm thinking you're going to respond, and we would dialogue. That's all. That was my sentiment, man. And as I listened, as I listened to blog talk show after blog talk show about Professor Griff, I'm like, wow, this is critical. really, Chris,